D'Angelo death history. Detail information. Full name, Michael Eugene Archer, known professionally as D'Angelo. Date of death, the 14th of October 2025. Age at death, 51 years old. Cause of death, pancreatic cancer. He had been privately battling the disease for some time. Place of death, New York City, United States. Family statement. The shining star of our family has dimmed his light after a prolonged and courageous battle with cancer. We are heartbroken but eternally grateful for the legacy of extraordinarily moving music he leaves behind. Confirmed by family representatives and major outlets, Reuters, People, NME, AP News. A background, final days. D'Angelo had withdrawn from public life several times due to personal and creative struggles. In his final months, he reportedly spent time in hospice care after complications from cancer treatment. His death prompted tributes from artists across the music world, including Questlove, Erykah Badu, and Maxwell. D'Angelo was best known for groundbreaking albums like Brown Sugar, 1995, Voodoo, 2000, and Black Messiah, 2014, which reshaped the sound of modern R&B and neo-soul. Music is the heartbeat of the soul. And when you talk about soul, one name echoes louder than most: D'Angelo. A mysterious genius, a musical prophet, a man who reshaped R&B forever and yet lived much of his life away from the spotlight. Today, we dive deep into the extraordinary life, rise, fall, and rebirth of Michael Eugene Archer, the man we know as D'Angelo. D'Angelo was born on the 11th of February 1974 in Richmond, Virginia, USA. His father was a Pentecostal preacher, and his mother was a talented singer. At just 3 years old, little Michael was already playing piano by ear, a child of rhythm and spirit. He grew up surrounded by gospel, soul, and jazz, a sound that would later define his style. By his teenage years, he had already formed a band called Michael Archer and the Vanguard, showing early signs of the musical brilliance that would take the world by storm. In 1995, D'Angelo released Brown Sugar, a masterpiece that brought back the essence of classic soul. Hits like Lady, Cruisin', and Brown Sugar turned him into an instant icon. But D'Angelo wasn't just an R&B singer. He was a revolution. He inspired a new movement, neo-soul, alongside Erykah Badu, Maxwell, and Lauryn Hill. With his silky voice and smooth instrumentation, he became known as the modern Marvin Gaye. At just 21, he was performing to sold-out crowds around the world. In 2000, D'Angelo released his second studio album, Voodoo. This album changed everything. It won 2 Grammy Awards, including Best R&B Album and Best Male Vocal Performance for Untitled, How Does It Feel? But the fame that came with it became overwhelming. Women idolized him, the media obsessed over his looks, and the industry pressured him to stay in that seductive image. Behind the fame, D'Angelo was quietly falling apart. After Voodoo, D'Angelo disappeared. He battled addiction, depression, and the immense pressure of fame. For nearly a decade, he stayed out of the spotlight, a recluse trying to rediscover himself. In interviews, his friends said D'Angelo didn't want to be a sex symbol. He wanted to be a musician. He went through personal loss, legal troubles, and health challenges, but never stopped creating. Then, in 2014, the world witnessed a miracle. After 14 years, D'Angelo returned with Black Messiah, an album filled with political power, soul, and truth. It wasn't just music, it was a message. Songs like The Charade and Ain't That Easy spoke of racial injustice and personal freedom. Critics hailed it as one of the greatest comebacks in music history. Despite his fame, D'Angelo lived a private life. He reportedly owned a beautiful home in Virginia, a quiet place surrounded by trees and nature, where he wrote most of his music. D'Angelo was never married, but he had a long-time relationship with singer Angie Stone. Together they had a son, Michael D'Angelo Archer II, who later followed in his father's musical footsteps. He loved classic cars, vintage instruments, and meditation, a man torn between fame and inner peace. Before his death, D'Angelo's net worth was estimated at around $5 million USD earned from his albums, tours, and royalties. But his real wealth wasn't money. It was the influence he left behind. Artists like Anderson, Pac, Bruno Mars, The Weeknd, and Frank Ocean all credit D'Angelo as an inspiration. He showed that soul music could be modern, political, and deeply human. On the 14th of October 2025, the music world lost one of its brightest stars. D'Angelo passed away in New York City at the age of 51 after a long battle with pancreatic cancer. His family said, "The shining star of our family has dimmed his light after a courageous battle with cancer." The world mourned. Fans gathered outside music halls, playing his songs, keeping his spirit alive. D'Angelo wasn't just a singer, he was the heartbeat of a generation. He lived, loved, and created from the soul. Even in death, his voice reminds us music is eternal. Rest in peace, D'Angelo. Your music will never die. Fade out with text. D'Angelo, 1970, 4-2025. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe with the bell icon.